So we should be live by now. We should. And we are. And playing with Erlang in Postgres. I'm going to change this to playing with Raylib in Zig. And that's going to be the title. Okay, so have you actually read the code that we have in here?
Not really.
Okay.
Hello, Commander.
Yeah, wanted to check out what's going on.
We
We just
spent. Go,
we just
explain.
finished fixing the flake that we're using because we were
Oh,
using
is
yeah
this
we were
Nix
using
OS problems?
No, but yeah, but we
yeah
just fixed those. We're gonna do something else now.
Yeah, okay.
So just a summary of what we did. There was an incompatibility between the version of devinf, which is something that Magenta wants to use to run Postgres, and uh, uh, how we retrieve libraries to run Raylib. So there was an incompatibility there. So what we did, we upgraded devinf to, which is the tooling that Magenta wants, to that allows us to have Raylib working. But then Postgres stopped working, and then we fixed that, and now we have Postgres, Erlang, Raylib, and Zig,
in the
everything
same
pinned
place.
in version.
Yeah, so we can start
Okay.
drawing stuff on the screen now.
So, do you want to draw? Oh, yeah, yeah. I asked if you actually read what we have. Okay, I'm gonna explain what because I think this is a minimal example, and I actually do know the minimal example enough to explain. I think.
We were setting up a window, or the frame closing the window, and then we enter a loop where
Yeah,
until
until you click the button of closing the, well, not clicking the button, but until the window detects that it should close.
we draw, we difference drawing, we clear the background, we draw some text, and that's it.
Yeah, pretty much. And because we have defer, we don't have to, because usually these things happen after the while loop. But because we have
Right.
defer, we don't have to do in that order. So what we want to do?
Actually,
Go, Mander, go.
yeah, I'm just thinking. I was thinking recently how to implement defer in like various languages, and so in C++ or like in well, I don't know where else would that be. I think in Rust maybe, but in C++ for sure you would just create an object that in its destructor would do something, right? And there you would like, you know, the, the destructor of the object would be the deferred function basically. But what if I want to do that defer in a loop? You know, this differs like a lot of times, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. That's
Yeah,
correct.
so how would I do that and
That's a
ensure
good question.
the order? Yeah, I don't know.
That's a very good question.
you would have to initialize the object inside of the body of the loop, which may not
Oh,
actually be what you want.
but the problem is that then it will only defer until the next, you know, until the next iteration.
But that's what this defer does. It starts, we begin drawing, and then we defer so that at the end of the iteration, we end drawing.
This defer until the end of the iteration, not until the. Oh, okay.
And
So
to be
it
more
like
precise,
it
yeah,
respects the scope. Okay,
yeah,
okay.
it goes
No,
until the end of the block. It basically
okay, no,
checks
no.
on the statement.
Then yeah, then that's fine. Then that's easy. Okay.
Yeah, so the first thing that I think we should do before doing anything else is allowing the window to be resizable. Because as far as I remember, I didn't test this, but I have a pretty strong feeling that I cannot resize this. You see?
I see.
And there is a thing, there is like a set resizable whatever that you need to set to true in order to have the capability of resizing. So I think that would be a first thing. So the way that Zozin does it, he has the source code of the library in Emacs, and then he just grabs it. I don't know if I want to do that.
I mean, the source code is literally the truth of the program as it executes, right? Assuming it's the same version.
It is the same version because I think you're using Raylib 5.
So nothing else is more reliable than that. But it is the source code. It's not nicely formatted documentation, so there's a trade-off.
Yeah. Oh, actually, there's also a bunch of, well, these are some examples that I think maybe the community did. But there is an image though that is kind of cool that explains the sort of the architecture of like these boxes. They have a geometry, like not topology, but they have a an organization that they interact with each other and stuff like that.
Let's see.
Um, so the first thing that I would like to do, oh, so they open a modal and all that stuff. Yeah, but in here I'm not gonna be able to resize stuff. Well, this is pretty much what we want to do though. See? I just don't
Draw
know how we're gonna
rectangle.
make the cursor blink so then the user can type. But the first goal is to make a button, right? So we're gonna have a
Right.
button in the middle of the screen with some text in it, and then we're gonna do something like this too, for sure. Uh, and then we're gonna say like create user. It's gonna look like pretty much like Minecraft for quite a bit.
No press start
Wait, you mean like your game looked like Minecraft?
No, not the game, but the
the
main
menu.
menu when you open the window is gonna have a bunch of buttons in like gray in a white background, and then you're just gonna click on it, and then we're gonna have to discover how to input text, right? So you type stuff.
Yeah.
But it's gonna look similar to Minecraft's menu in the sense that you're gonna have a bunch of rectangles that you're gonna click.
No, that's actually a pretty generic description of a lot of menus, not just Minecraft's.
Well, a lot of games nowadays they don't have the menu on the middle with rectangles. They have like on the left or something, or even on the top, like in here, like C Counter
That's
Strike or something.
that's weird.
Okay, so the first problem: how are we gonna do? Because I don't know if Raylib has documentation of like aside from the code examples. Let's actually go back to the examples and search that. So cheat sheet. Oh, I can grep in here. So resize. Check if window has been resized last frame. That's not what we want. We don't want to mess up with images for now. So, okay, so that it's definitely one of those because these are the window related ones. So I can increase the size of this. Um,
Much better. Thank you.
Toggle full screen. Restore set window. I was so sure the name would be like resizable or something. Okay, we can also cheat though, because Zozin did it, so we can steal from him. Do you want to cheat, buddy?
That's kind of lazy.
Well, I like Haskell. What do you expect from me? Restore.
Ah, the Haskell laziness jokes, they will never end.
They will never end. But this is a thing though. Why there isn't the same name for like resize? Oh, there's 8 now. Oh no, but they are in the comments. I'm stupid. Okay. I'm very tempted to just to just go and cheat. Uh, oh, maybe in the about there is the cool image. Let me try to find it. No. Oh, here. See? This is the thing that I was talking about before.
Right.
I don't know how this interferes with the actual usability of it.
iTunes, probably.
Yeah, but there's many things. Oh man, I'm so tempted to go to and cheat because I don't know. Have you seen any function that seems like what we want?
Uh,
Wait,
click on your
is this Raylib like quote unquote documentation?
Yeah, as far as I can tell, the source code and the comments are what. Well, I don't. I'm not an expert. When I saw the people that I've seen using Raylib, they grabbed the source code, and this is the source code.
Yeah. No, that's that. No, that's the what the like the old C++ programmers do. Yes, yeah, they do that. They grab the code, look for the comments, complete, like heresy that, so it's exactly the opposite of how it should be, but yeah.
Resizable window questions. Oh, you need to set the config flags before doing a init window. Thank you, Reddit. Thank you, sir. So before doing an init window, so here, and then we're gonna do around this. I noticed that the functions in Raylib, they have some of them have capital. Well, all of them have capital initial first letters, and here we don't. Is this correct, Marin?
probably. And I think you want, yeah, that. I was gonna say that.
Okay, so let's see if this works. And it doesn't. Cool.
And it doesn't.
So Raylib has no member named flag window resizable. Interesting.
Hmm.
Interesting. I wonder how much of Raylib does the bindings, you know? Do you know?
I think it's actually split in separate modules as well, the same way Raylib
Ooh.
is.
Okay, I'm very close to just like cloning Raylib just to grab stuff now. Because how are we gonna know which one? You know what I mean? Well, I can grab on
Yeah.
here. Why not? Let's search for this. So I'm gonna go here. Bam. Code. Oh fuck. Okay. In order to grab in GitHub, you need to have an account. Of course you do, because why the heck not? Why the heck not? Which Raylibs do we have? Do you remember?
Uh,
We have three.
give me a second. One moment.
Oh no,
Init.
oh no, we have Raylib Math, and then we have Raylib Normal.
There's also RLGL, which is like an OpenGL layer.
Well, it's only three. Why not try all of them? So let's start with Raylib Math. It's gonna be kind of weird if it is in Raylib Math, but who knows? And it isn't. Has no member flag window there. Hmm.
Oh, I see, I see. Because it's not actually just. Ah, I see. There's actually, yeah, I see. There's actually here. Let me copy this link.
Thank you. Oh, it is on the okay. Raylib Zig.
Oh, it lost the line numbers when you clicked on it for some
So it's
reason.
line
That's
800.
and 10, yes.
2000. Oh, did they change the name? Oh fuck. Did they change the name?
I mean, this is a Zig
Oh,
wrapper.
this is not a wrapper. This is a port.
Well, if we actually wanted to use the actual C interfaces, there would be no need for this because Zig can just import C headers directly.
Oh, okay. But that you understand that this is adding extra burden because now we don't only have to run Raylib. We
Yeah,
have
and
to
it's
run.
not just.
We have to learn Zig's Raylib.
I think actually you can get rid of the RL and just have the dots because this is a member of an enum, and if you have just an anonymous tag, the type inference will say, okay, this is actually a tag of that type.
But I think that didn't work. It's saying that it didn't find it anyway.
That's because
Oh, but you were right. Cool. And
Yeah,
now
you
I
did
can.
RL dots,
Hmm?
and now we can.
Okay, so you see that the text is not fixed as
It's not
I.
centered, yeah.
No, but here's the problem. So this was calculated using the original uh, height and width. And that's why the Reddit
Yeah.
user mentioned that there is a function called get screen width and get screen height. So that's how we're going to resize it. Okay, that's how we're going to resize it. So I think we need to get rid of these consts
Okay.
and make them vars. And then uh, doing after we start drawing and we clear the background, I think we should do screen width get screen width and do the same with height. So height. You see?
I see. And then we
Uh,
actually need to figure out the math so the numbers work out in the
oh,
draw
there's
text
no
line.
math. I just noticed the guy did it like this.
YOLO.
Yeah. Okay, but I'm assuming that Zig didn't change the API, right? They
Probably
just
not.
rename it. So we can
You
just
could
do
defeat the
draw
font.
text. Uh, well, we want void draw text. No, I don't want texture. I want text. Thank you. So you pass the text, then position, font size, and then color. We are using a light gray. I'm gonna go black because it's easier to see. And then the font size, I think this should be also a thing. Let's continue with 20. So this is gonna be font size. Oops. And then here we're gonna do the math, right?
Right.
So here's the thing. We, well, do we want to do like middle, right? So screen width by 2 maybe? And
I think that's
screen,
actually the coordinates for the beginning of the text, most likely.
that is the beginning of, that is the coordinate of the beginning, yes.
So actually, we can't just put it in the middle because the text will start at the middle and run off into the right.
Yeah, that's correct. But how are we gonna make it center? Because we don't know the length of this.
Um, I suppose we can just try to make it a random like proportion that's similar enough to what we had before. We had 190 there, right? Why don't you just do screen width divided by 4?
Sure. Wait, but this is x, so this should be width, yes. So screen height 4. Let's see.
Screen height, I think you can divide by 2 there. It would not quite be centered, but
Well, we don't have rot reloading, and I don't know if we're gonna make rot reloading actually.
auto
So,
reloading. Yeah,
oh, that's a const. Okay, I am not changing it. Const. Next one. So variable of type comp time int must be const on
oh, right. You have to specify the
time.
type because if you just put a number constant, it will say, okay, this is an arbitrarily sized thing, and then we can cast it to whatever width is appropriate when we use it at runtime. That doesn't work for vars
Ooh,
because a var needs to have a fixed size.
but I need floating stuff because I'm doing division down there.
Uh, well, you have to choose how you're gonna deal with inexact results. So,
I have to
uh,
choose.
well,
Oh,
yes,
this
you
is a
can do.
function.
Yeah, it's a built-in compiler primitive. It compiles differently depending on the target architecture, but yeah, it's you can think about it as a function. That's perfectly fine.
Okay, let's just do floor then.
Yeah, and it's a because it's a function, you actually should replace the slashes with commas because
Oh,
arguments.
okay. So it is not like a. I thought like a built-in. Well, I went so fucking far from the
No,
truth because I thought of preprocessing.
no, it's basically a function, except it's built into the compiler.
That's not bad. Well, that's kind of bad actually because Yeah, it's
Right,
becoming
because
more
we're dividing
apparent
by
that it's 25%.
yeah, yeah, we're dividing by 4, which works fine at smaller sizes, but yeah, it gets very off center as the window becomes wider.
Yeah. Okay, so let's try to make a button. What do you think?
Sure.
Draw button. Button. Okay, we don't want any of those buttons though.
That's for inputs.
Yeah, that's for gamepads and mouse.
Actually, there shouldn't be buttons because this is a game engine. There's no concept of buttons on the screen. You have to like make a
So we're
rectangle
gonna
and
make,
then
yeah, that's what I thought. So we're gonna have to make a rectangle. Oh fuck. Okay, that's gonna be that's gonna be fun. Rectangle. Oops. Okay. So we have a few ones, and I remember this from when I watched people using it. So there's a version that you can pass things as raw as you can, and there's another version that you can actually be a little bit more, I want to say, geometric.
vectors instead of integers. I see.
Yeah. And then there's also the option that you already have a rectangle. You just want to put a color and just go with it. There's many versions in here. So which one we want to go with? Uh,
Uh, Whatever is easier to begin with. Probably the draw rectangle because like we won't have to look into the constructor for those other types. Though I assume the vector 2 is just a pair in the expected way,
okay, could
so
you grab what are the types for these things in the Zig version?
sure.
So we go
Draw
here.
rectangle.
Have you guys considered using ChatGPT to ask questions like this? I'm not joking, by the way.
Do you think? But this is a very niche question. Do you think you can do it?
Uh, I mean, I don't know. It certainly can do Raylib stuff. Now, can it do it in Zig? You know, do you want me to ask him for you?
Sure.
Well, you know, just formulate a question.
The
I have
question
a
is,
paid version, so
okay, so the
I
question
have.
is, what is the type signature of the draw rectangle function in Raylib-Zig?
Yeah, one sec. What is the type? Signature of what?
Of the draw rectangle, and type it like this, like this. The
Oh,
draw
okay, yeah.
rectangle function in Raylib-Zig.
Yeah, so apparently um, there's image draw rectangle. I think draw rectangle is actually in the other module, probably.
Which module, RayMath?
It's not on this one. Let me just use the proper search bar. That's probably
Okay,
smarter.
well, okay. First of all, let's see if he guessed right, because he even did like a thing where he kind of shows me something that I can like show you so we can check. So let's check if
Sure.
the first one is correct.
Okay, let me read. Uh, uh,
Is the first
oh,
one correct?
the first one
Is not?
is correct. Yes.
Okay, well then the second one,
Yeah, but he
which
cheated though. He is assuming that Raylib-Zig is actually only a wrapper, but is actually using Zig types. Yeah, this is hilarious. Marin, look at this. Look.
I mean, this is how you would translate it by hand if you were into that. Um, so it's
oh,
not technically
but
wrong, but it's not quite what we want.
Yeah.
because it's not like extern. It's Oh yeah, I see. So it's yeah, one sec, no problem.
Yeah, you should say extern fun in Zig. You're basically saying here's a function prototype. It's defined elsewhere. So
Okay, but do you know the types, Marin? Did you find it?
yeah, apparently it takes Let me just copy the thing. It's as you would expect. It takes I32s. And
Well, what about
What about?
this one?
Let's see. Oh, that's much better. Oh, look,
yeah,
Manny.
it's actually missing. It's only missing the first argument, but that's actually pretty close to what it actually is.
What is the first argument that I missed that is missing?
It's the self. It takes a pointer to the context, the RL that you initialize, right? When you import the
Oh, you
library.
mean this thing?
Yeah,
No, no, no. But
the
that's
RL.
you could not guess that. That's not fair. That's cool. So apparently, Commander managed to make it. So uh, the ChatGPT was able to guess correctly given searching for.
Or, as I call him now, God GPT. Yes.
Okay, so what values are we gonna put in here? So
Uh,
pause. The rectangle doesn't change though, right? The rectangle has a. Ooh, that's actually pretty interesting.
we can change each loop, each iteration of the loop.
No, we can, but I don't know if that's a good idea because these buttons that we're gonna. I think we should have a function called draw button, man, that does all the nonsense that we would normally do by hand, but in like abstracted out. Because you're gonna have to put a text, so you already know that a string needs to come here. So message maybe, and then something in here. What is the nonsense? This, and then we also have. Oh well. Then I would say that it would be nice to use rectangle V instead, because then we don't have to pass all of these in here.
Let's see.
So what is the type signature? It is this. I'm
Takes a
assuming I'm,
vector
I'm
two.
assuming our library also does the re-export these things.
It probably does. Let me
So
see.
ll
Vector two.
this and then size and then this and then
Yeah, it
color.
does. It totally does.
Are the names the same, like capital V2 and stuff like that?
Yeah, capital vector two and same thing.
And then we will grab this, put it in here, and then we're gonna do the stuff.
It even
So
has an init function for vector, even though we actually don't need it if you just write Zig, because there's like initializing syntax for structs.
yeah. So I think we're gonna do rectangle V. I'm gonna assume that's the same. So I'm gonna pass the position.
I mean, I suppose the init function does actually save you from knowing that the two
Size.
fields are named
Oh,
X and Y. Instead, you pass them by position. So there's that. But
there's that. And then we're gonna do draw text. Uh, let's see how you draw text. Uh, there we go. So this is the only way. Oh no, that's not the only way. So there's also. Well, I don't care about the font right now. I think it's pretty. Like, we don't need to care about fonts right now. That's very, very far on the horizon. So then we zigify this, which is basically this. Uh, then it expects a conchar star. That's a very interesting type. Ask ChatGPT, Commander.
1 sec, sure. What do I ask?
You ask what is the type signature of the same question as before, but instead of draw rectangle, you ask draw text.
Yeah, sure.
I want to see what we'll try to guess as is the type of the string, because Zig strings are kind of, well, they are what they are. I'm gonna say that.
which is to say, actually, Zig, just like C, it doesn't actually have a string type.
Yeah, he doesn't guess that. He guesses this, which. Wait, I somehow fucking discarded. Yeah, well, he guesses this.
That's almost right, because this is passing to a C function. The string has to be null terminated, and it's not according to the type, so that could potentially break. But it's actually pretty close. I'm surprised.
Well,
Yeah,
I
that's
mean
pretty
this
close.
thing.
Uh, okay, I have another question. Marinho, could you check? Can you check in the Zig code, in the source code of the Raylib Zig? Could you check if inside of vector 2, if we have what are the names of the field of the struct?
It's X and Y.
X and
It's
Y. Nice.
literally just X and
Okay, so
Y.
I decided just to cut corners. I decided to put the font size as a global thing because then we don't need to pass it all the time. Oh
Okay.
well. Does Zig doesn't have partial application, right?
Dude, nobody
No,
has
because
partial application apart from your thing, okay?
What?
Lemos,
And
partial
I mean that
application.
with all the respect in the world.
No, what?
But
Uh,
partial,
many Lisps have
uh,
partial application.
That's not the point. The
many
point is that it
lists
implies an
name one.
allocation. You can't have like implicit allocations like that in
Oh
a
yeah, no,
low-level
I see,
language.
I see, I see, I see. I see. Uh, anyway, so I put the font size outside, and then we need to do something about centering. Well, I'm gonna assume. Well, I'm gonna do I assume that? Because I'm basically utilizing the same position as the when drawing the rectangle. You see? But maybe we should not do
Yeah.
that though. Maybe we should like jump a bit. See? Let's do it this like this for now. Just for now. Okay, then I'm gonna draw my button. So then draw button, and I'm gonna put a message here. So this is gonna be create user.
You need to pass the RL as an argument though.
I need to pass the RL as an argument. What do you mean?
Draw button needs the RL as an argument, so it can call the draw rectangle and draw text, right?
Wait.
Oh wait, it doesn't because that's a global. That's okay.
Yeah,
That's
but this
okay
could
then.
not be global. That's what you said.
Yeah, it
I
can not be
I could
global.
have this within this scope here.
You could,
Ah.
like, there's nothing special about the way you're defining the constant RL. You're just saying, okay, import this file as a struct, and then I'm giving it that name in whatever scope I'm defining it in.
Okay, so Zig will infer the type of this.
It will. You do have to know the names of the fields if you do it like that, though. So,
Yes, I will know. But if let's
and don't
suppose that I
forget.
don't, then I need to put in parentheses here.
Uh, no, if you don't know the names of the fields of the struct, you probably want to see if the struct has an initialize function, an init function, because then those functions are positional. You don't need to know the names,
Mhm.
and you're using the dots before the x and the y. Otherwise, that's
Mhm.
gonna be
Mhm.
yeah, that's gonna be interpreted as like something else.
Um. So size is also vector two. So I don't know. What do we want? I'm gonna assume it's height by width. So I'm gonna put 200, and I also missing the. I'm gonna put 200 by. Oops. 400. Why not? And then the color. We need the color. So the first thing that I also want to change. Uh, maybe. Yeah, this is not
Yeah,
gonna fly because you see the problem, right? Because the color of the button is the same with the color of the thing. So I would like
yeah.
to do some sort of like I don't know, 255 minus this or something like that. But I don't know how color
Actually,
works because this is a color. We need to know how to do this stuff.
okay, that's a popcorn scholar extern struct. I see. I think I see.
So can I ask? I can't ask. So it would be kind of nice if we can manipulate colors. Draw
Commander's
pixel.
gone, and we can actually.
How do
Yeah, look at
we?
this. Look at this. Look at how glorious this is. I'm just going to.
300 matches on color though.
No. It's on line. It's near the beginning. Here we go. Um,
Here we go. That was, and that doesn't, that doesn't,
oh, but it does. If you scroll up a little bit, like, I'll teach you how to read that thing, okay?
no,
Scroll
no,
up to the beginning
that
of your.
doesn't do what I want though.
No, it does. Look, color is a type. It's a struct. It has four fields,
Yeah.
RGBA, okay? And then all those pub consts are actually constants that are associated with the type because structs also behave as namespaces. And then you have all these functions that take, well, most of them actually don't take a color as an argument, which is slightly surprising. But yeah, you can call those functions to manipulate colors. So you
No,
can
but they don't do
normalize,
what I want though. That's the problem.
you can fade, you can tint.
Okay, let's actually do the tint on the text just to see, I wanted something a little bit more. Well, I guess I was being a little bit too naive because I was just thinking about like if I do two, I want to do
There should be an invert
255.
there somewhere, right? Because
So
that's like a very basic.
tint,
There isn't though.
and then I'm gonna do raw color white. That should kind of do it. But we need to do the math for the position now. We need to do the math for the position. So what do we want?
What do I want? What do I want? That's an excellent question, actually.
Uh,
Um, Silly question. What happens if you put a negative value there?
I have no idea, and I don't want to try that right now. Uh, actually, uh, so user creation button height. Then I'm gonna say for 400, and then const user creation button. I actually don't know. Is Zig camel case?
I'm pretty sure the convention is to use snake case for constants and variables. Camel case is used for functions for whatever reason. That's not something I agree with, and it's actually something the community is looking to change. But it is what it is right now.
So it's gonna be. I much prefer camel case. I think it's prettier, but that's fine. Creation with user creation height. Now we can do the math because we know the size of the window, and we know the size of the rectangle. Uh, okay, I'm actually also gonna do this. I know it's not pretty, but I don't care.
You just have to put a comma after the color, and then Zig formats will do the job for you.
Yeah, but I don't have Zig format configured in Emacs, so.
It's literally just, oh, right.
So if we want the middle of the screen, and then we need to subtract stuff, right? So we
Right.
want kind of the middle of the screen minus
Half of the
half of the
width.
thing. Interesting. So then we're gonna do user creation x is width by 2.
Uh,
Oh, this one
yeah,
Emacs is not formatting correctly. Interesting. And then I'm gonna do the same but for height.
I just put a comma after the Y and see if Emacs formats it properly. I want to check something.
Put what?
Put a comma after the Y and see if Emacs formats it correctly.
No, it was not formatting correctly because this was like this. So I
Uh,
think the Zig mode does not account for that. That should be it, right?
no, because you're dividing an integer without telling what to do with the leftovers.
No, but this is a const. So we didn't have this problem before. We only have the problem of having to tell the thing and having to do this because of a var, as far as I understood. Or do we need to do
I
this
suppose
every
that's
time?
I suppose that's right. I suppose that's right. Yeah,
Yeah,
because Q is a compile time constant. Either creation is also a compile time constant, so it should work out.
yeah. So let's see. We don't have rot reloading, and I don't know if you're gonna do it.
There's work being done in Zig actually to implement hot reloading in the compiler. It's not quite out yet though.
Oh, I did it wrong though. This is all wrong. So button
Button.
expected type F32 found I32.
Right, because that's the you're not yeah. Here's a suggestion. Why don't you just do a bit shift?
That's so much more unreadable though.
No,
Jesus.
it's not. You just do a shift right by one. That's the same as dividing by two. Problem solves.
I know, but I really think it's more unreadable though. For me, I will always remember this. But we can change this later. Let's just make it work first.
Okay, just replace the division with a div floor the same way you did up there, and it should work.
Oh, I see the problem. So because I'm doing
Okay.
division, it did the inference on this as a float. And then this is now a float because this is probably overloaded and this is a float, but it can't be. Okay, let's do the shift. I don't care. So how does that work?
Same
Is it
syntax,
like this?
same syntax as C. Just greater than, and then the number of bits, and it should work probably. And it didn't.
It didn't. It is still
Oh
saying it
right, it's
is.
actually oh right, it's actually because if you look at the vector type, it's not that it inferred it's a float from the division. It's actually because the vector is a pair of floats. It's not a pair of integers.
And why is not upgrading this to be a float then?
Because that's lossy.
Oh, that's fair.
You can't represent every value in an I32 as a F32.
So we need to cast it.
Uh, yeah, and we need to be explicit about it.
Mm-hmm. I
So
forgot
there
already
are a
how to
few,
do it.
yeah, so there are a few options. You can do. The annoying part is that this is an I30. Wait, no, it actually isn't. It's a compile time integer. Oh, but the screen width and heights are I32s. Yeah. See, this is annoying because if this was an F64, we would be fine. An I32 actually fits in one of those, but this is an F32. That's kind of annoying.
That's fair.
And this is why I don't like floating point, among other reasons.
Well,
Okay, what can we do?
fine.
I think, let me open the language reference real quick. Ziglang, blur.
I wish we
Uh,
had S as like I think. Which
We
which which,
do, but that's
which one
also we
which
do, but
one
that's
does that?
also not gonna work because, as I said, the conversion is lossy, and NS tries to do a safe conversion, so it's going to complain anyways.
No, but it should just give me a warning and allow it anyway.
Yeah, that's not how Zig does things. Uh,
Sad then.
yeah, because remember when I don't remember if it was last session or before that, but remember when I told you, oh, just run Zig Zen in the terminal, and there's the Zen of Zig. Yeah, if you do that, there's a particular line there that actually comes to mind for this situation. Uh, and I think this is actually informative for the people watching the video later, so just let's do it. Zigzen, you see, the first line, communicate intent precisely. So what we're trying to do is we have an I32, we have to fit that into an F32. If you just say S F32 and the number, you're not communicating what you intend to do with the values that don't fit in the F32. So that's why it's not allowed.
Eh, that seems like, well, at first glance, it seems like they are trying to justify not having a default behavior and just
No,
throwing
no,
warnings in the compiling, which is what I
no,
said, but that's fine.
no, no, no. They have options to deal with that, but you have to use them explicitly.
No, but that is the option. This should be the option. You just told me that this is not an option because it's not precise enough, quote unquote.
Yes.
Yeah, but that's what I said. If this, I'm trying to see why can't this be an option if I'm gonna receive a warning anyway.
Okay, and that's not quite the right syntax, but let's just try it out and see what happens.
No,
Oh,
no, but you said Zig will not allow it, so let's not do that.
okay. So option number one, we can do a bitcast, which is obviously wrong because
Sure.
floats and integers don't have the same bit level representation in general.
Yeah.
Option two, I think there's a truncate. Mm,
And just to be clear, I'm not saying I'm not saying that we should not be precise with what we are trying to convert x to y. I think we should. I'm just saying that if I am making a prototype and I'm cutting corners because I want to see if the idea actually works, I think there should be a way for the compiler to tell me, I'm going to allow you to do this, but it's wrong and I'm going to tell you it's wrong every time.
a quote from the field of computer security comes to mind, actually. If your security is optional, it's not security at all. I don't know why that came to my head, but it has something to
But
do
the
with
security is
what
not
we're
optional. It
doing.
is telling me it's wrong every time.
Yeah, but you can ignore it, so it's optional actually.
So I think what you want to say is enforce security option is not security at all. And that's
Yeah.
that's more correct.
Let's see, to define. Uh, See, here's the thing. There's a float from int built in, but I'm pretty sure.
And
Well,
let me explain a little bit better my rationale behind this. So my rationale comes from exhaustive pattern matching, right? So when you are doing pattern matching and you are not being exhaustive at all, not even adding a catch-all or something like that, most languages that I used with pattern matching allows me to continue my prototype, but they tell me I'm wrong. And that is kind of the same
here,
mindset I'm using here.
try this thing.
Float from int. Sure. Do I need to pass? I need to pass an int. Okay, so float from int. Oh no, it's the entire thing that I need to put this.
Int is uppercase. Yeah. Dude, why? Oh, right, right. Because yeah, right. That's actually correct.
Float from int.
And we probably want to do the same thing on the X and Y. Yeah.
And we don't have macros.
Although, we could cheat and say this is actually a const of type F32 and not bother with that.
Wouldn't that also trigger that this is a 932 and this is subtraction?
Right. That was, but then I can. hmm, Yeah, that's getting kind of annoying.
Yeah, I figured. Yeah, but this is the type of stuff that we could use some metaprogramming stuff to solve. Because this is kind of a little nasty. There's actually a workaround this though. There is a workaround.
I mean, if
We
we'd say that
could wrap vector2 making our vector2. And then this nonsense goes on the draw button.
we could, Also, we also could, well, we could divide by two the number of floats from ints by saying, okay, the height and width are floats, and then we only have to wrap the actual window size stuff.
Okay, I can expect the type I32 found flow 32. So can I just is plus overloaded?
It is, but the
So can
thing
I
is
do
that
that?
the function, that's not the problem.
Okay.
The problem is that draw text expects integers and we're passing it a float. Um, just do int from float,
Oh,
or I
oh, it's
guess you
getting
can do
even
floor as
worse.
well. Uh,
Jesus.
I mean, you can do floor as well if you prefer.
I'm gonna do that later. So there we go. Are you happy? No. Uh, so Raylib has no member tint.
Right, it's actually rl.color.tint, uppercase color,
Yeah, that's gonna be really annoying, man. We're gonna have to
uppercase.
learn
Um,
specifically.
although, let me double check
Are
something.
you sure it is? It's saying
It's
Raylib has no
uppercase
member. Oh, it's uppercase color.
color, yeah. But
Super cool.
actually, yeah, but actually we don't need to do that because tint takes a color at its first argument, so we can just do here, go back up there. Go back up there.
Yes.
Um, yeah, instead of doing color tint, color, and then color white, you can just do color dot tint and then pass it the white.
Oh, that's true. You see me like this?
No, not quite like that. Like this.
Oh, dot white.
No, color dot tint. Uh, this
Let me see. And why would that work at all?
because the type of color is rl.color. And the first argument
Wait.
of the function is the very same type that it's inside of.
Is it
So,
because this color it is inside here? Then we can use this dot that?
yeah, and then we just keep the first argument because that's the thing behind the dot.
This is so confusing though. Wait a moment. So, wow, that would confuse the shit out of me, man.
Yeah, just get rid of the first argument of that call, which is actually the second argument, technically.
Jeez, I don't know how I feel about that though. If I like it. And that's wrong.
Oh, it's way down there. What happened?
That is wrong, friend. That is very wrong. And there is no text also. Uh, but maybe that's because the tint is wrong. So let's just do this for now and see what the heck is happening there. So let's kill it. Yeah, man, making hot reloading would be nice. Okay, so the tint is just not working at all. Cool, very cool. And I think we underestimated. So I think we should be 5 and 5. Now let's fix the position. So what is wrong? Do you know? I'm starting to
Let me
think that
see.
these things are flipped. Let's try that. And they are probably both flipped because the button is too tall. Let's see. You see? Right? It is
Yeah,
in
I
here.
see, I see.
And it is, well, it is not good. They're missing a, oh, of course.
You copied the close brace together with the line. Yeah, that's not gonna work.
And now the button doesn't even appear on the screen. So
It's
I
gone.
guess, I guess, yeah, it's nuked. It's done, friend. It's done. It's over. So what are we doing wrong now? Let's go back
What? Indeed.
because before it was better. There we go.
Uh, draw rectangle, position, size, and color.
Oh, this is wrong for starters. Okay, okay. And it is adjusting though, as you can see. Whatever is wrong, it is doing the the math correctly.
Why is it on the bottom right corner though? Why is that?
I have no idea. I have no idea at all. So which math are we doing here? We are doing width. Let's suppose it's the beginning, so it's 800. Then we are grabbing the width, which is 400,
Wait,
so
yes,
200. Then we are
second.
doing 600. 600. 6. 600. That's quite below. That's 600 would be here actually, this line. And the y, we are doing 450 minus.
Oh, I think I see what's going on, maybe.
Okay, so go. 450
Right.
minus 100.
So,
So
so we're
350.
saying no, no. So we're saying that the the top left of the rectangle, it starts at um, starting from the top left of the window and going to the bottom right. The screen width minus half of the width of the thing,
Yeah.
which is at the bottom right corner. Yeah, try dividing the width and height of the screen by 2 as well, just to see what's going on there.
Oh, I want to die.
And then the other one is the
Jesus.
size. Is it?
It did. It actually did. So
There we
explain to me
go.
the rationale behind this. So you did the half of the screen, so you did like.
Yeah, so a bit of background. Traditionally, because computers used to be used in terminals, which means you print text, and text naturally goes from the top left to the bottom right. That means the coordinate system starts on the top left, right?
Coordinate system
Which
started on top left, yes.
Yes, which means that if we say, okay, if the position of the rectangle starts at screen width minus half of the width of the button, um, this essentially means we're saying, okay, this button starts all the way down, like, because this is actually the distance to the top left corner of the rectangle
Yeah,
as
no,
well.
but I still don't understand. You said at the top left is 0, 0, right? So here is 0, 0.
Yes. And we
Then,
were saying before that, okay, to start drawing the rectangle, we move all the way down to the bottom right because we pass the screen width and height as the position, right? And then we subtract the half of the width of the button and height of the button. So effectively, we were seeing the top left quarter of the button at the bottom right.
wait a moment. Oh, it's because we grow going down and going right.
Yeah.
I see the problem. I see. Okay, so the first thing that I would like to change is to make these things ratios. Because you see the problem?
ratio.
Yeah, because look, like when the even on this size, this button is too big.
Well, it is centered,
That's fine.
at least.
That's cool. Uh, that's not really what we want. No, that's not really what we want. And we're also gonna have a problem of the font because uh,
Yeah,
actually that's less of a problem. Once we make the ratios work, once we make the button respect the size of the window to be not too big and not too small, I think we're gonna be fine for the most part with this font size. I don't want to like because here's the thing, we have only rectangles and we're also gonna have to click, man. Like to make a click, we're gonna have to detect if it is on the certain area like mouse pressed or mouse released or whatever.
yeah,
Because we
we
don't have
will.
abstractions of we don't have we basically abstractions are completely dismembered, and then we have to do all the things ourselves.
Yeah,
So, uh, so let's try to make the button based on ratios now. So instead of doing this, which is just hard-coded these things, what about making the height? Making the height. So I was using 200 before. Let's just pick the screen height and divide by 2, man.
okay, we can do that.
But they are I32s. Ah, fuck
They
me.
are, but
So float from int. We're gonna do screen width, and then I'm gonna divide that by 2. And then we have 400, which is also division by 2. But instead of doing there, it's gonna be there. Second thing is that I think instead of plus 5s, we should do plus something about this size. Agree?
instead of plus size, uh, instead of plus size, which where are we doing plus size though?
No, we are not. That's what I'm proposing. Oh, I said it wrong then. Instead of doing plus 5, we do plus size.
Oh, I see. Yeah,
So let's try this for now and see what we achieve. And it doesn't work because I have 2 semicolons in there, of course. Thank you, compiler. Next. So from int must have a known result type. Okay, so I need to put f32 here now. Is that what it is asking for?
yeah, it needs a results type.
Cool. Next. No,
Although it's
that
actually asking for a results type for that particular expression.
what?
Yeah, because like F32 is the type of the variable, but that's not the variable value. It's an expression that's part of the computation that will result in the value of the variable. Well, constants really, but you get the idea.
I'm so confused. Why is not inferring that from here?
Because the float from int actually uses the value, the type of the context it's in. And the F32 is the type of a wider context than just that.
That's so bizarre though. So I need you to say that
Uh,
the type of this is f32?
what you can do actually is, yeah, actually, I think you can. Well, no, that doesn't quite work, does it? Yeah, you will need to annotate the type of the float from returning into.
That's
Uh,
so ass backwards, but okay. What is the best way to do that?
you can do something. Uh, what I have in mind would be kind of ugly though.
Well,
Uh, Right, here's what we're actually going to do. We're going to, I think you can get rid of the float from int around screen width and screen height.
Okay, that's interesting. Then what?
Let's see if this compiles. I'm
Oh,
curious about it actually.
and the answer
And it doesn't.
is no. It's asking me. It's asking me division with. Oh, it's because this is a 932 and I'm doing division. That's what's complaining about.
Yes, and we have to deal with the fact that the division may not be exact.
Yes.
We can just do a div floor, I guess. I mean, that's not ideal, but
This is remind me a lot of Rust.
I
Because when I
mean, it's
did with
systems level.
Paradas and Natan, we had to implement equality for floats because Rust doesn't have it.
That's weird. I mean, I can see why, but it's weird.
Uh, oh, it is converting it back. That's not what we want though.
No,
Are we gonna
it's
have to do
not.
floats from int?
I
Look
think
how beautiful.
actually, I think there might be an operator. Oh no, actually, operators here. Addition,
And the answer
integers and
is.
floats, integers and floats. You know what we could try to do?
Oh, I did it wrong though. No, I didn't. Now it's complaining about different place.
Integer,
Go.
integers and floats. Find operands must be comptime knowing positives. This is for integer go.
Oh, I see what the heck is happening. Before this was an integer, and then we had to convert this to an integer. So this overall was an integer, and then this
And is a
uh,
float.
is a float. Yeah. Man, isn't it easier to just like because Raylib requires stuff to be floats to just surrender? Do you want to keep doing this?
I mean, we could, instead of dividing by 2, we could multiply by a half, and a half is actually a float, so
I don't know how that solves the problem though. This problem that we're having right now is going to persist anyway because we are upgrading, well, we are changing user creation button width from an integer to a float uh, unless when multiplying by half this keeps it as an integer. Is that
it
true?
shouldn't actually. Go back to the code real quick. Let me just take a look at it and see. Okay, we're doing a div floor, which returns an integer, and then we're converting the integer to a float,
Yep.
which hmm,
All these problems could be avoided if these guys are floats, basically.
yeah, but actually we need them to be integers, don't we?
Uh,
Because those are pixel sizes.
I mean,
Although making them floats actually makes things easier because um, then we only have to convert them to an integer once when we initialize the window.
yeah, pretty much, pretty much. So like let's try it because this that thing there is getting kind of ugly. So how do I convert its int
You
int?
have a few options. You can do a floor, you can do a ceiling, you can do a truncate, or you can do int from float and basically say, yeah, whatever rounding behavior is the machine's rounding behavior, and I'm fine with not specifying that.
Okay, with that
Uh,
in mind, now we can just do screen
Divided by
width
2.
divided by 2. We can do that. And we can also do screen height divided by 2. And here it's also wrong because now we don't need all of this nonsense going on. We can actually do just what we want now.
Yeah, we can.
Um,
By the way, floor is actually lowercase in line 32.
This is kind of funny though, because this is this, and this
Yeah,
is this. So we could do this minus half of it, which is just half. You see the trick that we are doing here? It's misleading.
yeah,
Like if I change it, let's suppose that I change this entire expression by this. You see how hard would be to someone understand what the heck is happening?
yeah.
That would be terrible. Terrible. Okay, does Zig has precedence of operators?
It does, and I actually hate it for that.
No, it's fine. Every Lisper says that. You're not telling me any news.
Yeah, we don't need all of that.
Well, well, I'm gonna actually add it because I think it's more readable, even if it doesn't matter. Um, then we're gonna do division, that, and that, and then this can just go away. Cool. Let's see what happens. And uh, expected type I32 found F32. Are you sure it's
All
a
right,
floor?
all right, because floor by itself actually doesn't change the type. That's annoying. That's mildly annoying.
Okay, so I'm gonna do this thing. That's guaranteed. Int from float. Oops. Yes. Oh, I closed it. Oh no! Do I have a... Yeah, I'm gonna have to remember this to remove it later. So 1 hour and 12. Well, actually,
Yeah,
nothing here is really confidential, actually, so that's fine. So client. There. So I accidentally
yeah,
closed my Emacs. There.
yeah, that's not a problem.
Int from
So
float, invalid built-in. So this is not... Oh, it's probably not capital I.
it's not. It's actually, yeah.
And this is still wrong, because screen width expected type F32 found I32.
Right, because it changed the variable type, which means the assignment is now broken.
But that's also fixable. Float from mint, I think.
Yep.
It's still less conversions than before, though. For everybody wondering, I'm counting. Uh, expected I32 found
Because they're
F32.
doing big floor, that's for integer division.
No, but that's not gonna fly, I think.
No, it will, because we're just dividing by
No,
compile time.
that's not gonna fly, because this is expects an integer. So it's kind of inconsistent. Sometimes
No,
Raylib
no,
wants
no. You
floats.
can just always this takes a needs, right?
Expected float type. Oh no, you were correct. I was wrong. So apparently this does expect a float, unless it doesn't. So expected. No, it is expecting I32, but I'm just too tired. That's the problem. Okay, next one. Incompatible types. Oh yeah, I forgot. So this needs to be X, and this needs to be Y.
Amazing.
um, um,
Beautiful.
so here's my suggestion. Actually, this kind of makes... No, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
Why is it...
remember when we I can tell you why. Go back to the code. You see, we're doing screen width. Actually, user creation button height is equal to the screen width divided by 2. Can you see the problem there?
No. Repeat, please.
Mine's 45 and 46. Can you see the problem? The height
44 and 46.
the height of the button is defined in terms of the screen width, and the width of the
Oh,
button,
oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I can see the problem. I can definitely see the problem.
yeah,
So this is
that's why.
width. Good catch. Um,
That's better.
that
That's a
is
bit
better,
better.
but I'm a little bit disappointed. So I'm starting to think that by 2 is not enough. Uh, okay, that's
That's way
approaching.
better.
That's approaching it. I still think. I think in terms of width, we are fine. But in terms of the height, I would cut even more. So I'm gonna cut it by 8.
Funny how we're doing just powers of 2, and that's actually pretty good.
Uh,
That is pretty good.
okay. So here's the problem.
It doesn't quite work for.
It's not centralizing the text as I was expecting it to.
Yeah, it's not.
So how do
It's
we do
not big.
that? We can only control the top left, right? So we need to
Yeah.
do the math again. Um,
The problem is that to do the math properly, we need to know the width of the text after it's rendered.
yeah, but we can't do that.
Can't we?
Can we?
Maybe we can somehow. I mean, the code has to figure out how wide the text is gonna be at some point. Uh, it would surprise me if it was impossible at all to reach that function to pre-calculate the size of the text in order to choose how to center it.
So calculate size of text Raylib. That's not really what we want, but that's fine. Measure. So there's a function called measure. Measure.
Measure.
Measure text, actually.
Measure text. Yeah.
So measure string width from the full font. We don't even have to draw it first then. So we're gonna do const message size this, and then we probably just measure text like this. Then we pass the message, and we pass the font size. Now we can properly do the math, correct?
Now we're talking.
Now we can properly do the math. So, where should we start the thing?
What we should do is say, okay, the position should be at the center of the button, so halfway down the height and the width.
Oh, wait.
Uh,
You said the center of the button. The center of the button is position slash by 2, right?
the center of the button is position
No,
dot
it's
x.
size x by 2.
Yeah, it's size divided by 2.
Yes. And then we need to do the math. So it's position x plus this. Then it's this. Is it this?
Yeah, but that's
Y.
not quite everything because we also have to subtract half of the width of the text from the x coordinates.
Hmm. So then we're gonna do
Yes,
minus half of the
message
size.
size
So
divided by 2.
message size by 2. Oops.
But we need to measure the height of the text in order to compute the y value.
Do we?
We kind of do.
Are you sure? Do you think the 20 is the height?
The problem is that that's a good question. It might be.
Let's assume that for a moment, though.
Sure.
So, actually, wait. This is the top left corner of the button. Then we
Yeah.
are going down half of its size, so we are in the middle of the button, but still all the way to the left. And we are subtracting. Yeah. We need to subtract this. That's correct. And then the other way around. So this is the y coordinate.
Yeah. We're going
Actually,
down to the.
yeah. Actually, I said it
Well,
wrong. This is width. So this is going to the right half. So we are in the middle of it, and then we
yeah.
are subtracting. We are subtracting. Shouldn't be plus?
No, it's minus because we're going right halfway the
Yes.
the width of the button,
Yeah. This is
and then we
we are
have
in
to
the middle
go
of the
back,
button after this.
and then we have to go back
Oh no,
left
makes
half.
sense, makes sense, makes sense. Plus
Yeah,
should be maybe this one. So we do that, then we do that. No, it's also minus. It's also minus. But instead of doing
and
message
that's
size,
font
you want to do
size.
font size, right?
Yeah,
So let's assume that font size is the height of the thing. We don't know that, but let's try.
and
So
rename that thing to message Y instead of message X. Otherwise,
yeah,
it's
otherwise
not
it's
gonna
gonna be
work.
not gonna fly. So then I wonder, but I don't want the thing to be glued to the button. So I'm gonna do message x plus 5.
No. You don't need that. The text will be centered in the button.
Oh, that makes sense. That actually makes sense. Uh, and then we're gonna do, instead of doing that, we're gonna do message y.
That's looking a lot better now. Let's recompile and see what happens.
And it's wrong.
It broke.
So message size must be, so message size, oh, it is an integer. This function measure text returns an integer. It does. We are just stupid. So in that case, we need to do a div floor.
We could just do a float from int from the measure text results.
That also works. Float from int.
And then we need to take a float from int from the font size as well for the message y computation.
Yeah. So float from int. What in the fuck happened? Oh, so apparently built-ins are not. What? What? Okay. What?
Oh,
Oh,
there's an
because
open
this is
paren.
this is this is doing that. Okay, that was weird, and it's still not compiling. So float from int must have a known type. Sure, buddy. Sure. Uh,
Oh, right.
float
We
from
need one
int
for the
must.
font size as well. All right.
Float.
How do you want to do this? Do you want to create another temporary name, or do you want to do this the inline but kind of ugly way?
So float font, which is F32.
F32.
Float font. There, there,
There's a
there.
yeah, and there we go.
There we go. This is good enough. Come on.
Yeah, that's actually kind of nice.
This should be very good enough. Now to handle the freaking click. Everything that we just did was just to make it appear. Um, which is kind of annoying, being honest. Kind of annoying. And there is also the problem with colors, though. I'm starting to think that we need a color palette. Uh, color palette. So you said that we can have consts in here. So const primary.
That's not how you declare a struct, by the way.
I already forgot how to do it though. We can check in here though.
Const color palette equals
Yeah, this is how we
struct.
do it. There. And
It
this
doesn't
will
need to
be a
be
const color. I don't remember how to write this though. Is it this?
a
This.
single L,
Yeah.
double T.
And the fields are already public, I'm assuming.
Actually, is that correct? Color.
Get rid of all of this. There was a link that you sent me. Where is it? Here. So this is how you do constants. That's what we want. So pub const primary. So this is gonna be, I don't know, L color blue, whatever. Which colors do we have? So we have
Uh,
we have
any RGB color,
no. But
and we
I
also
want
have those
the
names.
for now. I don't want to go to the RGB. What the heck is this though? Is this a type of what?
Maroon is a dark red.
Dark red. What is the color palette of our game though? Dark blue and dark red? No, that's not contrasty enough.
Well, we have three options. We can say it's black and white.
No,
We can
that's not a
say
good
it's
option, but okay.
we can say it's Dr. Nekoma's color palette, which, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, but that will require hexadecimal. I don't want to do that. Well, actually, we have a function, right?
We do color.init, and you can pass.
No, no, but that requires me to pass the x. I don't. I want to pass the x actually.
There you can type numbers as hex in Zig with 0x. That's an option. Or you can do from
Here it is from int.
from int.
So that's what we're gonna do. So this is gonna be L color from int.
Mm. Yeah, and then you do 0x and have at it with, yeah.
That is very easy to find. So color. So do you want to do black and white? Do you want some red? What do you want?
I'm partial to green and purple, not because I particularly like purple, but because I like green and purple contrasts with it very nicely. That's just me.
Okay. So I'm not a fan of using Nekoma colors because they have. I don't think red would be a good like. Because at some point you're gonna have. If we're gonna open the game, and just looking at it's gonna be exhausting because of the amount of red. So I
Okay,
think
here I will give you some colors. Okay,
no, no,
this
no. But
is
I
straight
found
up.
I found a perfect candidate. Give me a moment.
This is straight up from my terminal colors. So you know it's good.
You know it's good. Okay, so my suggestion is this. So 3F49, and the other one
Don't
will
forget
be E2 dead 4.
don't forget to put an extra 2 zeros because there's also the alpha channel. This is
You mean here?
RGBA. Yeah.
Okay. So here's the thing. So in here, instead of doing that, we are treating this as a single token. How can we do that in here? Do I just do color palette and just...
Color palette dot primary. Yeah.
this is actually going to be secondary. This is not correct, right? This is correct.
Yeah.
And this in here, well, the text can be still that, but instead of that, we're gonna do color palette primary.
That's not how you spell palette.
I got confused again. Cool. Let's see how this does. And it didn't work, of course. Is invalid struct. Oh, I didn't remove the wrong one. Yeah,
Yeah.
cool. It is still wrong. Compile call of external function. I can't do that then?
Oh, right, because that function is actually an extern, which means, yeah, that's annoying. That's very annoying because that's actually from an external library, right?
I
You
have
call
no
into
idea.
C. You call into C, and you can't call C at compile time.
Ah.
Okay, okay. Here's what we do then. Here's what we do. Go back to the code. Right, we're saying put const, color palette, and then defining primary and secondary as compile time constants.
Yeah.
But if that doesn't quite work, what we can do instead is say,
Make them functions.
um, what we can do is say, okay, primary and secondary are actually fields in the struct instead of constants. And then we can instantiate it, which is not ideal,
I don't
but,
want to
and then we
instantiate
can,
that though.
don't want to instantiate that. Oh, the
I think
alternative,
we rather instead of like this would be really goddamn convenient, but we could run this at runtime, discover the RGB colors.
never mind, never mind. I have an idea. I have an idea. Instead of doing struct and then the thing, uh, here's what you do. You say, get rid of the struct keyword, just say dot. And then those two pub calls can just be dots as well.
Sure.
Dot primary and dot secondary, yeah. And then the semicolons become commas.
What the heck are we doing? Is this an anonymous thing?
Yes, it is.
Does this work?
It should,
And
and it doesn't.
it doesn't. Okay, so here's my
It
suggestion.
doesn't.
Let's call these
Oh,
functions.
one. Oh, wait, but that would be.
Let's call these functions, man, and just print the color and see what we get, and then let's just go back to the struct.
Okay.
That works. So so let's discover. So I forgot. How do you print? F. I don't remember, man, how to print.
Do you
Ah,
wanna you want to actually print to the console? Is that it?
yeah, this is how you print. Cool. Uh,
Isn't it better to just look at the colors, though?
what do you mean look at the colors?
Like you can just,
Oh, the
where you
RGB.
using?
I do know. I do have them. Okay, I forgot about
No,
that.
no, no.
No,
You
but I
don't
do
even have
have
to
them.
do that.
But I have it
Okay.
here. And then we're just gonna put zero. Well, zero or 100%. I actually don't remember.
No, no, that's not actually gonna help, by the way.
What do you mean? So R. So this is the primary, right? So I suggested this one. So it's 30, 63, and then 73. What do we put as alpha though?
0. Otherwise, it's going to be transparent.
Oh yeah, that's what the alpha does. You're correct. And then we're gonna go here with 226. I hope it looks good though. I'm very excited to see what the heck it's gonna look. And there we go.
I don't think that's gonna help, but okay.
What do you mean that that's not gonna help?
Oh wait, you're no right. That's actually
And this
okay.
is wrong.
See if that thing compiles. See if the thing compiles, and it does actually.
And it doesn't. There's no colors. What the heck happened?
Oh, I wonder if the alpha is flipped. It should be 255 to make it opaque, and 0 is transparent. I wonder if it's that. Yeah, that's it.
So this is what I tried. Uh, I'm not married to it. I'm just trying things out. So do you have any colors to me that you want to try?
Um, sure. Here's the. It needs to be FF. Here's the primary, and here's the secondary. And I'll have to
While you
copy
do that,
this
I'm gonna change the primary to be something else.
here.
So one moment, please, because I'm already typing. So 15, 27, 25. Let's see how this looks. Okay, that's not that bad. Oh, but you have it in this form. Convert it to
You can
RGB, please.
you can just do it like this. 0x, 0x, 0x. I can just do this instead. That works.
Are you sure?
Yes, it's just another way to write the same number. Um,
Oh no, that makes sense actually. Let's see. Let's see your colors. So I'm gonna save this for later and do it like that. And you said that you want to do it like this. There. Oops.
yeah,
And
you
there.
actually has to be a call to init, but yeah, those are the arguments.
Oh, so you're saying that you should do this.
Yep,
Oops.
that's
There we go. Jesus.
yeah, that should be backwards actually. The primary should be the text, not the other way around. Or you can just flip the names, I guess.
Ah,
Yeah,
this
this
is
doesn't quite
this is
work.
too out of the box to me. I'm wondering if we should flip it around. Like we have a white background, and we're trying to make a
Yeah,
button dark with light stuff in it. What about doing the opposite? I think doing the opposite is gonna look much cleaner, and I have the perfect
yeah.
background color. So
Just
let's
set it to
actually do it
black.
here.
Just set it to black, man.
No, black with that purple is not gonna fly. So background, and my proposal for for the background is not this one, but I think I like this blue here. At least I want to try it. Maybe it's too light. I don't know. And then 129. Okay. And what is the clear background? It is in here. So nice to have this struct working as a singleton. I like it.
Not really a singleton, it's a type, and
So
it's associated with some constants.
yeah,
So
but it is fundamentally working as. I like the blue. I don't know about you. I really
yeah,
like
I
the
can
blue.
actually, I can't see it properly because of redshift.
Oh, so what are you? What is the background color to you?
It's looking slightly greenish, kind of a dark. I almost want to say a dark teal.
That's
Yeah, and the
interesting.
purple actually looks pretty red to me.
Jesus, man, this is not purple at all. This is like definitely not purple. But hold on. Let me try my combination here because now we have three colors to care. So I wonder if I make uh, the button color is the secondary. No, the text color is the secondary. So in that case, easy. Uh, just I'm gonna put these on hold and do it like that. This is choo choo choo, choo choo choo, and choo choo choo. And the button color, I'm gonna make it blacker. So it's 13, 25, and 23. So let's see what do we get from this combination. Okay, let me remove the text because it's kind of making it worse. Okay, so what do you think about this one?
Um, Yellow thing aside, because of redshift, that actually looks Kind of nice.
I'm not married to it, but for now I think it's fine. So let me tell you where these colors are coming from, okay? This is coming from another volleyball team from Haikyuu.
Of course it does.
Of course it does. So I think this is fine. So what we want to do now, we want to click the button. How much time we have left? We have 20 minutes. So let's try to make a click of a button. Just detect the click because we're gonna have to switch
Can we
scenes.
do can we do the classic web page example of a button that increments a counter?
I think we can actually. But before that, so draw a main menu. I think that's important because we're gonna have to manage scenes. So
By the way, just FYI, you don't actually need to say any error. You can just say main void, and it will infer the error type.
okay. So we are starting to get into a problem here. I think we are reaching the moment of deciding how we're going to approach this. Are we going to use immutability all the way, or are we going to do the C way and just mutate things floating around?
We can do both approaches. You do have to be mindful of where your memory is being used.
Because in order to make this draw main menu not receive the screen height and width and return that instead of returning void, because we need that in order to do the gets, right? We are updating it via the resizing things. If we don't want to do that, we're going to have to make these things global.
Actually, we don't. They kind of are already.
No, they aren't. Aside from the main scope, that's not gonna fly.
No, 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 because like we have 800 and 450, that's the initial value. But then we keep mutating it at each iteration of the loop. But the value that we mutated with comes from RL dot get screen width and get screen height, which are effectively global.
Oh, you mean these things are global?
Kind of, yeah.
Another thing that we could do is to just pass pointers of these to this.
That's an option, yes.
So let's actually do that. So with ref, and
Um, although,
this
what
is
if
gonna
we
be
do the functional thing and say, okay, the draw function is not gonna mutate stuff. That's gonna be done separately.
it's not gonna mutate stuff. That doesn't answer the problem because we still need access. Because look, we're gonna put these things in there.
Yeah,
Notice that we don't have two things that we need. Okay, notice that.
make them arguments. That's it.
Okay, that actually makes sense. So width f32 and height f32, and then in here
Everything
we
that says
replace
screen
string
becomes just, yeah.
screen height. We're gonna change it to height and screen width. And we're gonna change it to width. Cool. Then here, draw main menu, and we're gonna pass these things to it. Height.
You have to put a try
Oh
in
yeah,
front
I
of
need to
this.
put a try. Oops. Try. Try to draw the main menu, please. Expected function or variable declaration
All right,
dump.
you forgot to say FN.
Oh yeah, I
Otherwise,
forgot. Sorry about that.
otherwise it's not gonna work. And there we
And
go.
looks okay. Looks very okay actually. Um.
Looks very
Mmm.
so-so
But I had an idea, unfortunately.
idea.
Yeah. So what about making an enum const action? Call that an enum. This is the syntax, right?
Yes, it is.
And then we're gonna have create user, and for now nothing. And hear me out.
We're
In
missing a
here we always
semicolon.
gonna return create user. So this is not void anymore. This is action. Then we do a pattern matching here, which I already
You do need a
forgot.
try, by the way.
I do need what?
The try, you do
Oh
still
no,
need
yeah,
it
yeah, yeah.
because
I still need it. That's fine. But then I can do stuff like var action try.
just make it a const. We're not gonna mutate the action, are we?
Oh man, in order to do the pattern matching, oh, I just need a switch because we don't have we're not holding any values because this is just a simple enum. Could you repeat what you said?
The action can just be a const. Otherwise, the compiler is gonna complain.
But we are moving it every time in a while. Is that correct? Is that fine?
It's fine. When you reach the end of the iteration, the scope ends, which means the constant will get destroyed and it gets created again in the next iteration. That's fine.
Cool. So here I want to do specifically nothing. How do I say nothing?
Uh, how do I say nothing? That's a very profound question, Lemos.
Create user. I actually don't know if you need a dot anymore because it's not part
I
of the enum slash.
You do need the dot actually because that's a literal value that you are matching against, and
I
you
don't
don't need
have an
the
item.
item. You don't need the item because this is just an enum. It's not actually a tagged union. And for the nothing case, um, you can just say, I guess you can just have an empty block that should work.
Uh, draw.
Yeah, by the way, that's not quite gonna work
Tell me why. This is wrong.
because you are drawing the main menu. And then in the same frame, you are taking the action and drawing.
No, 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 no. But that's just for now. We're gonna make the button. When you click the button, we're gonna make it go to return this.
Right. Right. So you're basically
We're
saying,
gonna have like click detection here. And
I
you're gonna
see,
return
that's fine
only
for
this
now.
or nothing. See the idea? You like it?
Yeah. You're missing a dot, by the way,
Missing a dot. Oh,
in front of create user. Otherwise, it's going to look for a variable with that name and it's not going to find it and it's going to complain.
sure. The only problem is that this is gonna get really annoying really fast because at some point this is also gonna do a return an action.
What we actually need is a place to hold the game states.
That's fair. So, oh boy, but I don't know if I want to go that fancy for now. We don't even have users with properties yet.
I mean, it can just be a var holding an action, which is actually, we really should name it something else, but it can be action for now.
So we want to make a var which is game state.
Yeah, but it should be inside of the main function, not in the global scope.
That's too C. I agree. Uh, so let's start with this, and this is gonna be action and nothing.
Yep.
Then
And then when we go to draw, we do a switch. We draw based on the action.
I think we should mutate the game state.
Yeah, don't forget to take the address of the game state. Otherwise,
Oops.
yeah, ampersand.
And then Yeah, but I'm also disliking that all these scenes, I'm gonna call it them scenes. All of the scenes need to always have these three things, which is kind of annoying.
The width and the height probably should be part of the game state actually. And if we make a type for the game
Yeah,
states,
but
it
at that
just can
point you're
just
gonna make the same thing that we did in here.
no no
This.
no no no. Yeah, basically.
Sure. So we have action there. Where are we using the enum union with the nonsense? Oh, here. Okay. This is so reminiscent of Radiant. We did the same thing there. Different syntax only.
I mean, it's a game, right?
Yeah.
There are only so many ways you can slice a tomato.
Uh, sure. So we're not gonna do this now, at least not for now. Maybe Erlang.Zig and client.Zig should share some more stuff because right now they share nothing. Um,
I mean, technically, the client.zig imports Erlang.zig, so everything in Erlang.zig is accessible from client.zig.
well, in that case, don't need the action,
No, we don't.
but we do need this because this is gonna be the game state, and it takes
You can
Erlang
just say union
Erl.action.
enum. By the way, if you here's the thing, you probably you probably don't actually want the actions that you can send to the backend and the game state to be tied together. So
Oh
here's
no,
yeah, so
but this is still
here's a
this is all front end, man. This is not a server. This is not a server.
I don't know, but one thing is say, okay, we are on screen X, whatever X screen does. Another thing is saying, okay, we need to talk to the server. Here's what we're gonna do. Those two things are separate. They should be separate.
But I don't see a reason to make them separate. The layer that dispatches the information to the server and the layer that does the actual, well, does the action that we care.
Okay, suppose we're inside of the game. We already left the menu. We're actually playing, right?
Sure.
In the same screen, the game screen, we can send any number of different actions to the server. We can move around, we can attack enemies, we can level
Yeah,
up,
but
and
why the actions should not be the same enum from the point of pressing a button and moving in the sense of sending to Erlang? I don't see a reason.
uh,
Like, let me explain this a little bit further. So when you do
let me make.
like go to the right, this will trigger the game state to update the action or to be move to the right, like like I don't know, maybe this notation there. And what we're gonna dispatch to the server update position, update position to the right. Why these things should differ in the action process?
Let me make an analogy here. Suppose you're inside of a house and the house has several rooms, okay?
Yeah.
Do the actions that you can do by yourself depends on the room that you are in.
The
Or actually, more precisely, are the rooms that you are in defined by the actions you can make inside of them?
repeat the question, please.
Because like
That's a complicated question what you ask.
it is, because what you're saying is basically saying, okay, we have the possible screens that we can be in the game states, right? There's the main menu, we can be in game, and then in game, we're probably gonna have something more complicated because there's more than just, this will be an MMO, so tough. But what you're basically saying is that, okay, so the actions that we can send to the backend will also label the different states that the client can be in.
Ah,
That's
now
like
I understand
saying
the problem.
the
Now I
actions that I can
understand.
make inside of my house define the rules of the house. That's nonsense.
I think the analogy is not good, but the way that you explained it before, which is you are basically tying a single enum to represent two different things, although one will eventually become the other.
Not
Because
really that one will become the other. You're coupling two things that logically are not coupled. Like I
well, we
can
would
make
have to define what the heck you mean by couple, but uh, let's. I think I understood what you said, which is that when when you are using the thing that controls which scene you are at, using the same type, using the same thing that you're gonna tell the server what you send,
yeah,
and that is wrong.
that is wrong. Those two notions are separate. They should remain separate.
Yeah, yeah. So this is gonna be game state. Um,
By the way, if you don't want to have an explicit enum action, enum for the tagged union, you can just say union enum, and it will automatically define an anonymous enum with all the tags
nah, I'm
that you
fine.
had.
No, I'm fine. So here's gonna be menu, and here are the fields. So we're gonna have a nothing here, which has basically nothing. So I don't know what
You
to
can
put
say
in here.
void. You can say void there. Just say
Void.
void.
Cool.
Yeah,
And
void is
here,
actually a very cool type in Zig.
okay, so but here's the thing, I don't have this yet. So this would also not be useful for now. Um, that is kind of. Can I add fields here that are not participating in the enum?
I don't think so. Unless you do what I said and say union enum, and then
Okay,
you don't have.
union enum like this.
Yeah, the enum has to be in parentheses.
That's weird syntax, but sure. So we're gonna get rid
No,
of
it's the
this.
yeah, and
Uh,
then you don't have to. Yeah, this way you don't have to keep the same set of names synchronized between two different places.
yeah, because you're gonna have
It's
this the width in here, which is gonna be f32. We're gonna have a height, which is also f32, and
oh wait a moment, wait a moment. I see what you're doing. That's not.
so here's the problem. We want to have a field on a struct that is an enum, which is like the scene state.
Yeah, we can do that. We can do okay. The game state is actually going to be a struct, and there's a scene state which contains the enum for whatever scenes we define.
So we do enum here.
Yeah, sure.
So then user
Uh,
registry goes here. Void goes here. Well, not void,
Nothing goes
nothing.
here.
And that's it for now. Is
Yeah,
that
and we
correct?
can add more stuff later. That's correct. Yeah.
Okay. Then here's the pitch. Um, so instead of initializing this crap, we're gonna say game state. You're gonna be uh, this, this, and scene nothing.
Don't forget the dots in front of the nothing.
Yes. And then we just nuke this. Um, and say screen with game state dot width, correct?
Yes.
And we're also gonna do the same type of thing. So screen height, game state height, and that is cool. That is very cool. Then we don't need this anymore. I'm actually gonna. Oh man, whatever. Okay, whatever there. Then here's the issue. Here's the freaking issue. We don't need to pass these things. We just pass a reference to the game state.
There's actually something a little bit nicer that we can do. I mean, nicer.
Oh man, but this is not this doesn't have do notation stuff. So that means that we're gonna have to do stuff like this.
No, 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 no. You're taking a pointer to the game state
Oh yeah,
from the draw main
that's
menu.
true. That's true. Because in Radiant we were not using pointers. We are using immutability all the way. But TypeScript has a syntax to do notation sort of.
I mean, if you really want, you can define draw main menu as a function inside of the game state type. And then you can do game state dot draw main menu parens.
But isn't that like OOP? Should we do that?
I mean, draw main menu is kind of tied to the definition of the game state anyways. So we can do that if you think it's good, but
Do you think it's good?
I think it says on typing. Not typing as in type system, typing as in writing words in the keyboard.
Okay, so your proposal is to put the drawing of the man, but we are mixing stuff. The game state should not care at all about the drawing process.
No, the game state can knows how to draw itself. That's like
That's not how we did. Like that's not what I learned from our previous game development experiences. You should always detach the logic from the display. Uh, but okay, let's try this way.
drawing is not part of the logic though.
Yeah, it isn't, which is my point. What you said is exactly what I said.
Yes, and they are separate. Like we're not mutating anything from inside the draw main menu. We're just drawing stuff to the window. I mean, technically, if
Ah,
you want to be really pedantic, we're mutating the drawing surface, but that's
no,
not
but
the game state.
that's yeah, but that's really not the point. So here's the thing. How do I use the width from here? Is it just like this?
No, actually, not really. You have to say that draw main menu takes one argument, which is a pointer to a game state.
Uh, so game state, and I'm gonna do a pointer to game state. So there's no
And
purpose
just
in adding this into this struct.
no, 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 no. Here's the thing. It takes a pointer to the game state. If you want to be cheeky, you can say it takes a pointer to this. That's actually something that you can do.
Ah, this.
Not quite like that. It's actually a built-in at this and then open and close paren.
At this. Like this.
Yeah, uppercase this. Yeah. No AT letters, just the at sign this, and it's like yeah. And if you want to be explicit that draw main menu will not mutate the game state, you can put a const after the asterisk.
Okay, let's actually do that. So how do I use this in here? I just put game state dot.
Yeah, game state dot. It's just a normal function. It's just since it's defined inside of the game state struct, which is like
So it's just for convenience. There's no real gain.
it's for convenience, yes.
Oh fuck! I'm not gonna do this twice. So. I'm assuming it's already dereferencing shit.
It is.
Okay. actually works.
And then when you want to call draw main menu, you just go in the main loop, do game state dot draw main menu,
Wait a
open
moment.
and close parens.
Oops.
Yeah, the click detection will have to go elsewhere actually. It will have to go in the main loop.
That's not good then. That's really not
Why
good.
you
Because after we draw the button, how are we gonna know from outside where the button lives?
oh the button will have to be represented in the game state somehow.
Jesus. You see the problem with that?
Uh or we could say, okay, if the game state is like nothing, which is the one where we have the buttons, but then how does click detection actually work though? We haven't looked into that, have we?
We're gonna basically do a is clicked or whatever. No, we didn't look into it, but I have a fuzzy memory on how that works. So so there's that. And this function probably needs to go up here now. Okay, but I think we are getting a little bit too ahead of the curve because uh, I think I understand what you mean, like in the sense of we're gonna draw the buttons, like because this is only the first button. We're gonna have many more buttons in here.
Yeah.
Then we're gonna have to decide, okay, uh, where are we gonna do the click detection? Because we are purposely separating the drawing from the mutation of the stuff.
Yeah.
That means that that means that that we cannot do the click detection here because this is a
No, we
const.
can't.
How inconvenient would that be, though? That's my point. Because the only place that we know where the buttons that we are drawing is in here. So maybe with Raylib, you're not supposed to separate the phases.
That could be the case, yes.
That makes me really sad, though.
I mean, you probably can do it somehow. We're just not clever enough to figure it out with no experience.
No, I mean, you can return all the coordinates of all the buttons and tag the buttons. So then, when you are here and you do is mouse released or something like that, you're gonna receive the coordinates on which that event happened, and then you do like are these coordinates within any of these buttons? If yes, grab the tag of that button and then trigger an action based on it.
Yeah.
That's actually not a that's actually not a bad idea. We could return a map from here with the keys being the coordinates, like the area actually, and the value being a tag which tells which button you clicked.
But then that means we will have to potentially allocate a map.
No, Zig doesn't have maps.
It does actually.
So, but it doesn't have convenient maps.
No. It doesn't have implicit allocations,
No, but
but it does have convenient
yeah,
maps.
but
You
we,
just
we
have
could put
to.
here buttons and then map.
Sure, that's an option.
That sounds cool though. Do you agree or not?
I kind of do actually.
Okay, so how was the syntax?
Okay, the maps are actually in the standard library. So let me open
std.
the standard library. Learn standard library. If I recall correctly, it's std.hashmap.
Hash map, you said.
Uh, yeah, there's a function called std.hash_map.hashmap, which returns, which is actually a generic type. That is a function that returns a type. Uh, that's, let me see, functions, functions, where is
This
it?
is very unusual though, because
Why?
I'm not what you're looking at. This strategy that I proposed, that the drawing tells us all the elements that are available, and at some other place we're gonna pick that information and do effects on it. I think that's very unusual for Raylib. I think the
Mm,
way that they intended you to do it was to
That's, I mean, that's not really a drawing function now, is it? Because it's not just drawing to the screen, it's also like telling us which portions of the screen are clickable.
not really. The action, the decision making of clicking is up to us in the mutation phase. The only thing that is doing it is saying, I'm drawing this crap, and these are the areas that they are occupying. That's it. What you're gonna do with that information is up to you. The thing that I find it cool though is, now that I think about it, it's kind of natural to do it in this way, because before, you when we were discussing before about having the game state and the drawing phase separately, what usually happens is that the drawer, the one that there's a drawing on the screen, it actually receives the game state, right? And it does nothing of mutation. It just collects the information and then mutates the state of the screen to do the stuff.
Yep.
And then the game state keeps it untouched. What we are doing here is kind of very similar, but instead of having like have taking it for granted that the game state is going to be returned, we only like we are only returning the spatial information. You see,
Yeah. I
it's kind
posted
of backwards. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, maybe this will turn out to be a bad approach, but we'll try it out. This does look interesting at least. By the way, I posted the link on the chat.
Oh, you did.
Yeah, we have to initialize the hash table type with an allocator, and then we can just call normal hash table functions. Uh,
Can I do that in here when defining the field or not? Oh wait, I need
uh,
to pass an allocator that I've written myself or not?
no. There are allocators in the standard library. There's the C allocator, which is handy if you're interacting with C. And there are a couple allocators like the general purpose allocator. There's an arena allocator. You
Okay,
have options.
we want a map from uh, uh, a map
How
from
do you
vector
go?
choose to tags.
Although, give me a moment, 1 second. Oh, okay. Context. What is the context? Must be a struct with hash and equal.
Man, I want really to experiment with this approach of like the drawing functions. They only provide areas.
I mean, if you think about it, that's kind of like you're doing two drawings. You're drawing the actual graphics to the screen, but you're also drawing a clickable surface to the game state
No, it
so
doesn't
that
need to
when
be
we click,
clickable. That's my point. We are applying the specific effect of clicking, but we could do something else with it.
yeah, we could.
Like let's suppose that our
Like,
MMO has a mini map. You know, we could mutate a circle region that's going to be drawn to put the asset of showing the map moving. That's another example of an effect that is not clicking, but it is still leveraging the same idea. Like if we know the, that's so cool. That's actually so cool.
Damn it, where the heck is the part of the documentation that tells me how to call this generic type and instantiate it?
If you
Okay,
don't
there we
know,
go.
I have no
Okay, there we
idea.
go. There we go. There's we can make a string hash map. That's better because we want the keys to be strings for now, right?
No, we don't want strings actually. What we want is a vector to a tag, to an enum.
Wait, what?
Oh, yeah, actually a vector 2 is not going to be enough. We need a vector 4 and a tag. So let me explain. This is the same trick that we did. Man, so nostalgic. So here's the thing. You can calculate an area because right now we only cares about areas. Later on, we can, when you have circles, you're gonna have a problem. But right now, if you have a rectangle, you only need 2 corners of it to determine its area, right?
Nice.
So if you give me what we're gonna do later when in this specific case for clicking, we're gonna actually calculate the area. We're gonna calculate the area using these 2 corners, and if it matches when the mouse is released, then we're gonna search in the map and say, give me the tag, this enum here. Give me
Oh,
which button the user clicked, if there is one.
oh, I see. It's a map from coordinates
Yeah,
to the
yeah,
action that happens when you
a
click
tuple of
there.
coordinates because we need the 2 diagonal corners.
Hmm. Okay, that means we actually would need to implement a hashing function for that, don't we?
Oh fuck. Okay, so forget the vector choose. So just tuples. Do they have already tuples? The hashes for hashing for tuples?
Let's see. Auto hash map. What does it do? I don't know. Source.
Man, this is so fun. Like trying to imagine how to properly separate these things and all that. That's so much fun.
Oh, okay. Apparently, there's a function called auto hash map, which automatically derives the hashing function from the types that you give it.
That's awesome.
Well, actually, derives from the key type because the value type doesn't matter for hashing.
Okay, so we can use whatever then.
Yeah, so it's apparently, yeah. So it's basically std dot hash underscore map. That's the namespace where everything is defined. And then,
Nothing capital, right? So hash underscore map like this.
yeah. And now it's the type name, so it's capitalized. It's auto hash map.
Let me just check for a thing. Do we have vector 4? 4.
We do.
Whoo! Okay, that's awesome. Okay, so we can actually use
Yeah.
only a vector 4.
Auto, not alt.
Oh, no, my bad.
Auto hash map, and it takes 2 values as an argument. The first value is the type of the key, and the second value is the type of the value.
Um,
So
so we want, where is it?
vector 4
Yeah, yeah, but where
to,
is this coming from?
it's a type. You can grab a type from
Oh, it's
anywhere.
coming from RL. Okay, so RL vector
Vector
4.
4. And
We
then
want this thing, so available buttons.
except
And this is like this maybe. I don't know.
that's not actually. Huh, we actually do need to define the enum for available buttons as a separate type then because we're using it in 2 places.
Oh fuck. Okay, so can we do this in a single shot, or do we need to make them really, really separate?
Now we can say hub const, give a name for the enum, and then the available buttons is the type of The
So
thing that you just
we need to do
defined.
it separately. That's the answer. Okay. So pub const. This is gonna be available buttons
Equals.
uh, equals, and then here we just do that.
And you got rid of the field in the struct that actually has the thing. So you
We
have
don't
to.
no, but we don't need it. We don't need it. Yeah, we don't need it as a field.
Okay. Oh, okay.
So do I need to do equals init something?
No, that's just the type. That's just the type.
So we actually need a pub fn init for the game state, I think.
We do, in fact.
So then this is gonna return game state. Actually,
It
that's
should
not
take
true.
an allocator as a parameter. Um,
So allocator. Let me check the signature of that thing.
it's std.allocator,
std
capital allocator.
allocator. std allocator.
Actually, that's d.mem.allocator, but yeah,
Mem.
mem as in memory.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, allocator, capital A, otherwise, yeah.
Oh, capital A. Sorry. Um, Actually, that's not correct, quite really, because then we're gonna have also to provide the width, which is an f32, and the height, which is gonna
Yep,
be an f32. So first things first, does if has parentheses? I always forget this.
it has.
Cool. So if this does that, we're gonna say, what's the syntax? Right.
Return error, whatever.
Error.
Just
That's
return the error, yeah.
return error. So
Dots with
negative width height height. Does the allocator can be messed up?
no, I don't think so.
Okay, cool. Now what do? We create a var game
No, just
state.
return, return, and then dots, curly brace, width equals width, that we got as an argument, same thing for the height, and then the buttons, but don't forget the dots, will actually be std hashmap dot hashmap.init, and then we give the allocator.
std hash map dot init.
Yeah, you need to pass. Yeah, you're missing a segment in that namespace. It's hash underscore map, where all the utility functions are defined, and then hash map in camel case. Well, actually Pascal case, because the hash is also capitalized because it's a type name.
I don't understand. Could you repeat?
I'm just gonna write it out. std init, and then the arguments are.
Can we forbid people from creating a game state without using init?
I don't think we can technically.
Oh, that's bad.
I mean, this is low level stuff. What were you expecting?
No, it's very easy to fix it, but it's just to hide the constructor.
Clone capacity, where's the init function?
Oh, jeez. Okay, I was a little far from it. But thank you very much. That's what we want. Amazing. Now, in here, instead of doing this, we're gonna say, I think we have to do game state init. Is that correct?
For a moment, but I'm back. And my message did go through, so that's fine.
Which allocator do I provide here?
I think we can go with the general purpose allocator for the time being.
Yeah, sure.
But before that, there's actually something we have to do. We defined an init function. We also need a deinitializer because we need to deinitialize the hash map as well.
Oh. So pub fn, what's the name?
Deinit.
And what
And it
can
will take,
it will take a
it
this,
should
right?
take,
Game state.
it will take a pointer. Yeah, it should take a pointer to this.
Mutable, right?
Mutable, yes.
This. And return.
It should return, I think it's void. Yeah, returns void.
We cannot fail on doing this.
Cannot fail, yes.
So what we're gonna
And
do?
basically,
Go.
GameState.buttons.deinit, because we need to deinitialize the hash map and return all the memory that it took. And that's it.
Awesome. So what do I put in the first parameter here?
General purpose allocator. Wow, the names for the general names here are not great, but basically this std.heap.general purpose allocator.
Oh, this one is hard to predict. Man, if this works, I'm gonna be so freaking happy. We are making progress like very fast. After the first hour that we had to fight floats,
Yeah,
we're getting there fast. Jesus.
We probably should make some aliases actually to avoid all of those like long names because they are kind of annoying.
Yeah, but this is only once, so I'm fine.
Oh, and just to be super safe, right after the game state is initialized, we should defer a dinit just to
Oh, that's fancy. The init.
dinit. Yeah.
Okay, so now let's fix this. So I don't know where the background needs to be because right now we are basically establishing that the game state knows how to draw itself. So maybe this should be there, but I'm not gonna bother now. This needs to be here for sure. And then we're gonna try to draw the main menu. And this is actually, yeah, this is where we need to return the map. Well, actually, we need to mutate the map of buttons, right? So we're gonna do,
Right.
yeah, well, but this is kind of misleading now because now we're gonna mutate it, or are we gonna just return it?
Well, technically, we're not mutating the game state itself. We're mutating the map inside of the game state. But yeah, this is kind of misleading. I agree.
So should we return the new map and just do the assignment down here? I think we should, man, to be consistent with this.
Yeah, we should. We really should.
So
So we
game
should be.
state buttons equal try. Actually, this is not a try. Can we fail drawing a button? Well, technically we can because the user can throw and do crap. But let's assume that that's not the case. So how do I return an instantiation of a map? Can I do that? I have to allocate new crap.
The problem is that the map is mutable. Yeah, you do have to allocate potentially.
That's terrible. Can I create a map from an immutable data structure?
Off the top of my head, I don't think so.
Like,
There
can I
might
just not
be.
pass a list of tuples here?
Yeah, but then the list of tuples has to be allocated. Well, actually, Yeah, it has to be allocated.
So then we are fucked. Like we need to
Let
mutate
me
it
think.
here then. There's
Let
no
me
way
think.
around it.
Let me think for a moment. I'm starting to think that things are done the other way around for a reason. Um, because uh, here's what little I know about drawing, like with immutable values, right? Um, you have your state, and then at each iteration of your game loop, you collect the input events, you update the state, you draw the state, and the drawing part is impure because you have to mutate a surface, but besides that, you don't have any other effects. And then you go back around, right? You
Yeah, pretty much.
collect events again, and then update the state, draw it.
Sure.
Really, what we should do is we should have a process input step before we actually draw stuff. And that step will update the game states, and then we draw the game states, and we don't have to mutate anything.
But this phase of drawing doesn't require any inputs because it's the beginning.
Oh, it kind of does. It needs to look at the games. Wow, but then it wouldn't be draw main menu anymore, would it be? It would be a generic draw function for the game states.
Yeah, that we can make that function later, but right now this is the reason that we're not doing the order that you said, which is gather inputs and draw, is because there's no inputs to be retrieved. This is the beginning.
That's not quite right, because we do want to gather an input, right?
No. We need to display something for the user first in order to make it sense for the user that he needs to input something else.
No. The game state needs to be in a way where we know that we expect the user to click something on the screen, and then we draw that.
Yeah, which is what we're doing. That's exactly what we're doing.
No. What you said is we need to draw something first, and then uh, we expect the user to have input, which is technically right, but from a code perspective, that's backwards.
I don't
Like,
quite understand.
like,
Well, actually, I
like we
lied.
have
I
the
think I understood. I don't know how you're gonna do this way here, because when I did with Letris, when we did Letris, we did exactly as you said. We purposely added an artificial input, which is pressing down because the piece is going down. And then we display that, and then the game loop continues with you having freedom and stuff like that.
that's kind of awful, actually.
Kind of what?
Awful, because technically the
That's
game should
exactly
be
what it should be
able.
doing. The piece should be going already. So
Yes, but there should be gravity. Like,
no, there is gravity. There is gravity.
so why do you need the artificial down button?
Uh, I actually don't remember quite well if we ended up with that. At some point we did, that I know. But it doesn't really matter for a game like Tetris because you can just make the piece floating in a region that the user is not seeing anyway. It doesn't really matter.
Mm,
But going back to our problem here, we don't have an input, right? We don't have an input at all. We're just displaying stuff for laws. How are we gonna do the thing? And also, the problem that we are trying to solve with the areas you didn't say solve it per se, because
no,
the
we didn't.
the problem is the only way that I can know the region in which something is supposed to be clickable is if it is at this moment in time. After that, it's gone. It's just gone.
That's not quite true,
It
actually.
is true because these are not global things. I cannot retrieve
No,
these
no, no,
after
no,
this
no, no,
line.
no. It's not. It's not because we know that these things are clickable because we are in the main menu, right?
Well, Yes, but that also doesn't solve the problem.
No, it does, because if we know that we are in the main menu, that's because something else told us that we are in the main menu. And we know that in the main menu, there are some parts of the screen that are buttons, and so they should be clickable, right?
Sure,
That's a separate question from how do we draw the main menu?
that doesn't address the problem still.
It does. It means we need to have something in the game state that says, okay, we're in the main menu. And
Sure.
then we say, And then we say, okay, this is the beginning of our game loop. Let's collect the inputs. What state are we in? Oh, we are in the main menu. So we check if any of the buttons of the main menu have been clicked,
How do I
and we
know
know where they are.
where are the buttons of the main menu?
We compute them. We know the size of the window. We know that we are in the main menu. So we can just compute where the buttons are, even though we haven't drawn them yet.
But that's essentially the same thing as having the areas as before. But instead of
Well,
drawing
yes,
them
but
first and then doing the geographical mapping, you have the geographical mapping first for some reason, which I think it's well, it's not. I think it's just as bad actually. Now that I think about it, and then
why?
well, because that doesn't solve the problem of having to have this the areas saved somewhere. That doesn't solve it.
Of course it does. It's in the, well,
Of
kind of.
course it
It's
doesn't.
implicit in the It's implicit in the game states because we have the size of the window. From that, we can compute where the buttons should be, which means we can compute which areas of the screen are clickable.
I'm starting to
And
think
we
that
just,
your way is just as bad as the way that was I was proposing before. But instead of
no, but
having to compute the map here with these values, you're going to have these values hard coded somewhere else, and then you're going to have that map from the start. That's the same, just reverse. You're
um,
going to put those in here after you because you already have them. You're going to put them in here instead of having to
yeah,
calculate in here. What I was proposing is the opposite. So you calculate in here, maybe you save these things in some variables to make it easier and more readable, and you construct the areas that are clickable after you do the math. What you're proposing is you do the math first and then you plug them in here.
yeah,
So for me, it's just as bad. If one is bad, the other is bad. If one is good, the other is good as well. I'm starting to think that if we try to separate the phases with Raylib, it's gonna bite us in the butt. I think you're not
um,
supposed to do that. I think they expect you to just assume you are always redrawing and you are always searching for clicks. It doesn't matter where in the code it's happening. So it's just easier to do one after the other.
um, yeah, I'll have to think about it actually, because this is kind of a tough question. Like how, I guess the heart of the question is how do we represent things in such a way that we don't have to repeat ourselves and draw the button and and compute the clickable area and just do the calculation twice, because that's effectively what we would be doing with my approach, or we we have to entangle the computation of where the button is with the drawing, which is not ideal either, because that means our draw function is no longer pure, well, pure in quotation marks, right?
Yeah, but that's the thing. I think my way and your way, we are trying to fit a square in a circle hole. I really don't think this
Mm,
is supposed to be the way that you do this. You see? And the reason why is exactly as I said. I think that the rationale is the following. Man, you are always drawing stuff, and you are always trying to retrieve inputs from the user. Why does it matter when you do it? The reason that it matters for us is because that maintains purity. But this is C stuff that we are using in Zig, but it's C. That means that they don't have a hard time thinking that, oh, this is making it impure as fuck. Yeah, they don't care. They just don't care.
Yeah, I don't think that's the way to go, though.
I'm not saying it
Yeah.
is. I'm saying that trying to go against it may be really hard. Not really hard, just hard. Because I think the idea of returning the maps here or doing your way of pre-computing the regions, uh, I think they are like they're doable. But I don't know how that scales.
Actually, I have an idea, but I'll have to look into it because you do need some research. How much do you know about Elm?
Very little.
Very little. Okay.
Yeah, so maybe
Yeah.
the answer all the way is functional reactive programming.
Well, it kind of is. Basically, the way Elm works nowadays is you have an event loop and it sends events to your application, right? And the application has basically three parts. It has the state, which is just a data structure that represents the current state of the game. It has a draw function that knows how to take the state and draw it. And it has an update function that takes the state and an event and determines the next state. But this would require us to do an event loop, which is a little bit
Yeah, but I also
long.
think that if we try to make it more Elmy, this, we're gonna have to make a bunch of tooling just for Raylib to behave in that way.
No, no, we just need an event loop, and then the main game loop would say, okay, oh, actually, the event loop would be the game loop, and then every now and then we will have a draw event that draws the game to the screen. Although,
How
how
does
well
that
would that
solve the
be?
problem? The problem that we are
I
having here.
wonder, well, because then we don't have to deal with like having to check whether we got an event in the middle of the game loop arbitrarily. We have separation between, okay, we got an event, so we update the state, and then, okay, it's time to render, so let's draw the state.
Sure, but that doesn't. So I'm still not seeing how that solves the geographical areas of being clickable or not.
Well, because that can be represented as part of the state, actually.
The areas.
Yeah.
So then we come back to the same problem again, which is kind of similar to your solution.
Mm,
I'm starting to think that this is that there's only two ways, man. Or you draw and you ask for the because in the if you don't click, we're gonna be drawing this every frame. We're gonna call this function every time. Then you always draw. You have the region information, and you already ask for the click. It doesn't matter that it's gonna be wasteful because you're gonna call this every time, every frame. That's the first approach, and I think that's the way the Raylib wants us to do it. The second approach is to have the areas of being clickable being used at some future point, some point later on. So in your case, it would be, oh, let's make the areas of the buttons static. So like you can actually, you pre-compute the areas beforehand, and then when you draw it, we just call it, and then we can actually later check for the clicks because we already have saved it. Or we do my way, which is to just return the map here, and in the main game loop we check for the inputs. I think that those two sides, those two ways, you and mine, which is separating the regions from the act of drawing, and the Raylib way, which is you draw, you detect, you draw, you detect. Those are the two only ways. I don't think there's a way around this.
mm, yeah, I'm not sure how to proceed.
We don't have to proceed. It's almost 3 hours, so I think we did great. The code
Yeah, we
doesn't
did make a
compile
bunch of
anymore.
progress. And no, we can fix that. We can look at the compiler errors and fix them when we get back to
The,
this.
the
But
code
yeah,
doesn't
we
compile
need.
anymore, but we're gonna have to make a decision. We're gonna have to make a decision here about.
It doesn't compile because you have a return and no semicolon.
No, it's not gonna compile because this piece of code down here doesn't make any sense anymore. This switch thing. But I
We
guess we
can
could
get
just.
rid of that for now.
I guess we can
Yeah.
just do that. Let's see if it compiles. Yeah, it doesn't. So Zig 43,
Or
43. Are we missing semicolons here?
actually, that pub const needs to go after the width, height, and buttons declaration.
Really?
Or I guess, yeah, it does. It does. It does because
That's weird. Line 43 again, so this is probably should be comma.
it should be comma. Yes.
Declarations are not allowed between container fields.
Yeah, you need to move the buttons before the yeah.
Expected 62.
62. Yeah, we're missing a semicolon.
Uh,
Yeah, we
line
need to get the width
81.
from the
81. Oh,
game
okay.
state. Yeah.
But what we're discussing here, it's something that I noticed when doing Radiant as well. Maybe game development is not really made to be done in a pure manner, man.
Actually, you should take um actually go back to the
Are you sure the std.heap has a member called general purpose allocator?
well, according to the documentation it does. I may have misspelled that actually.
Okay, so std.heap.general purpose allocator, general purpose allocator with camel case. Is that it?
Could be.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
General. I wonder. Heap.
Well, I mean, we don't actually.
Oh, I think I see actually. You can get rid of the general purpose allocator in snake case. So I think that actually that's like an alias definition that's deeper in the std lib. That's why it gave me
Expected one
the longer
argument,
name.
found 0. So this function expects an argument.
Just do dots, curly braces, and nothing in the middle. It takes a configuration, but we just want the defaults. Dots, yeah.
And it is still wrong. So expected type mem allocator found type.
Oh, right. Because, well, no, actually.
because no, actually. That's funny. So apparently the return type of this is a type and not a mem allocator.
Oh, right. Actually, yeah, we're missing something. We're missing another. Yeah, instead of being. Yeah, get rid of drop the curly braces and the dots. We don't need them. But between the parentheses and the general purpose allocator, you have to say dots allocator, lowercase.
And what is
No,
that?
not there. Outside of the parentheses.
Oh,
Yeah, no, that's not right. Let's just rewrite the thing in the chat. That's easier.
sure.
I think it should be like this, actually. Probably, maybe,
Oh,
hopefully.
oh, I see. So this and this. And the answer is no field name allocator.
Oh, Nathan, that's Lyceum. Oh
Yeah,
wait,
but
he's not here.
yeah,
Why am I
Nathan's not here.
talking?
Yeah, no, he's just asking. Uh,
Oh boy.
Allocator. And that is still wrong. So the heap doesn't have this thing, but if I remove it, we go back to the beginning, to what we had before. Yep.
Oh, I see. It takes the configuration and then it takes. I think I see. So it should be like this actually.
So there's two
Funny enough.
parentheses.
Yes, there
I
are
see, I see.
like this.
Ah.
Oh
And
wait, I'm missing. Yeah, it needs to be this actually. Yeah, because we can configure the general purpose allocator, and we just want the default, so we pass an empty struct to it.
the allocator thing also expects an argument, apparently. What a
Right.
bad docs, apparently. Terrible docs.
Huh.
Hilarious.
But this getting an argument is taking the general purpose allocator that we just returned as the argument. Why is it not working? Oh, it's because it takes a pointer, no allocator.
What do you mean? So what do I put in here?
Yeah, so we actually have to do this. Let me just
Hilarious.
write it. Yeah, so we actually have to do this. Var allocator equals. And then we can do allocator dot
Whew.
allocator somewhere else. Like this.
Oh, that's kind of sad.
Yeah, see, it takes a pointer because I think the idea is we may want to de-initialize the allocators later in some contexts. Um, but yeah, if this gets too annoying, we can just use the C allocator. That's not a big deal.
It's wrong. Instead, oh, it's because we don't have
Oh,
pub
right,
in
I
here.
wrote a pub. There shouldn't be a pub there. That's nonsense.
Variable. Oh, it's a var, so we need the type. But the type I have,
Why?
right? Because it's a var. Or something along these lines.
That's not quite right because that's not really an allocator yet. The
Couldn't we just
allocator
make
type
this? Oh,
is
no, we can't make that a constant. That doesn't make sense. Go on.
I mean, I suppose we could, but it would be kind of ugly.
Do you have the allocator constant?
No, the pointer would be a constant.
The pointer. No, 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 no. But it's complaining that because this is a var, we need to type this allocator, man. And I don't
I
think
know,
this is the type.
something like, oh boy, this is gonna suck.
No, it's already sucking for 15 minutes. It's fine. It's definitely fine.
Yeah, try to see if this nonsense compiles. Oh, actually, the parentheses are wrong. I should do something more like this. It's, yeah.
Just to make it compile. Well, compile again. It was already compiling. To be 100% fair to us. So do I do the same nonsense here? Address of
No, you
what?
can just pass the allocator. The allocator that const is already a pointer to the thing, so
And the answer is no, it doesn't compile. So it's expecting one argument found zero, basically.
why?
If you don't know, I have no idea. So let's do the following. Let's do the following. Let's remove this nonsense from here.
Let's
Ju-
cheat. Let's cheat. We just use this thing instead, and that should make things easier. I posted a link in the chat.
yeah, I am opening it. So C allocator. Just copy paste this. What do I do with this?
Yeah, just instead of doing the nonsense with the general purpose allocator, just pass the C allocator to the game state when we initialize it. Yeah, no, it's not. That's the definition of the C allocator. You just do std.mem.c allocator.
C allocator it is. And let's see if it compiles. And the answer is no, it doesn't compile. Of course it does. The mem has
Uh,
no C allocator, remember.
oh, it's not mem, it's heap. Sorry.
Sure. Heap. Nope. And the reason why is because no field or member function name init. Did
Oh,
I
dot button
remove
should be that should be a colon instead of an equals. That should be a colon.
a colon?
Oh,
Where?
wait,
What?
wait. Oh, wait a second. Go back to the error message real quick.
No field or member function init in fn. Are you sure this is how you do it? Are you
Right, because
super
you didn't
duper
say
sure?
the type of the hash map. That's yeah. Um,
No, but we do have the type here.
yeah, so here's what we should do actually, just to be more sensible. Uh, that type right now is an expression that's in line. Give it a name, so we don't have to repeat it every time.
So type.
No. Just call it something like const buttons map or buttons map type or something like that. Copy the expression, yeah, just put it there, and then button map type as the type of the thing. And then when we initialize the buttons down there, instead of doing std whatever, we do button map type dot init. That's like, and then we can figure out a better name for those things later. Right now, we just want the code to
It
compile, and we
doesn't.
need to reorder.
I need
We need to reorder the
to.
declarations because, yeah, semicolon and put that elsewhere because it's in the middle of the fields. You can't be in the middle of the fields.
Still doesn't compile. Missing return state scene. Oh, that's true actually. Thank you, compiler. State scene state.
Since
Nothing.
state,
There it is.
it's
All
compiling
of
again.
that to reach this. It doesn't even work. We can even click on it.
Well, we can draw the button. We just need to figure out how to, what's the, well, I'm not gonna say proper way. What's a sensible way of doing things? Yeah,
Uh, anyway. So now what we need to decide is the following. The code as it is not bad. It is not bad. But I think we should separate things a little bit. Like there's too much things, many things going on, man.
yeah,
Probably should have a color.zig to have these type of things in there. We should have a drawing.zig, I think, maybe.
maybe.
And then we're gonna get rid of this thing, but that is just like doesn't matter that much. and all that stuff. And most importantly, we need to decide what we're gonna do about the areas. So I'm gonna put a to do here. So judge whether we should do Raylib way for effect detection. You uh, you draw and check together, or the pure way. You you do logic and effects separately.
Yeah.
And that's cool. That's really cool.
We
Uh,
did make decent progress today. It is a shame that they couldn't figure out how to click the button, but we did manage to draw it, so
but
that's
to be
something.
fair, we didn't try it to discover how to click a button. We were trying to make the overall
Yeah.
abstraction design on how should we do it.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
So add draft of main menu scene. So yeah, so it's a tough call, especially because I have absolutely no idea how the other way scales, so I cannot have a great comment about it. But it is what it is, man. I'm gonna finish the recording now.
Yeah. Okay.